Oof, what is this? What the fuck is this? Where is it?
Boltzmann brain.
Boltzmann brain.
Boltzmann brain is a thought experiment that suggests that given enough time, a self-aware brain could randomly form in the universe due to quantum fluctuations. This hypothetical brain would have memories and perceptions of really living in a structured reality, even though it is just a temporary, random occurrence in a chaotic universe. This theory asks if it's more likely for the universe to exist, with all its complexity, or for a single brain with false memories to appear randomly. If the latter is more probable, it implies that everything you experience might just be a brief hallucination by a Boltzmann brain. Solipsism.
The fuck did I just hear? What the fuck did I just watch? What is that? Five? Check two.
Experiment that suggests that given enough time, a self-aware brain could randomly form in the universe due to quantum fluctuations.
What do you mean a self-aware brain can just form out of random bullshit?
This hypothetical brain would have memories and perceptions of really living in a structured reality, even though it is just a temporary, random occurrence in a
Who said this shit? Why does this shit exist? What do you mean Boltzmann brain? Oh my god, I'm about to dive deep into this shit. A Boltzmann brain, he is a constant value. What the fuck is this? He has a constant value? Like, what do you mean that is a constant value? Mass, kilogram, seconds, what the fuck is a K? It's a constant. Kelvin, it's not even constant, it's Kelvin. What is the Boltzmann constant? The Boltzmann constant is the factor that relates average relative thermal energy of particles in a gas with the thermodynamic temperature of the gas. Oc- I'm so sorry. I'm not sick. I'm just having hard time to talk. It occurs in the definitions of Kelvin and molar gas constant. Who the fuck is a Boltzmann? I'm pretty sure Ludwig Boltzmann. Ludwig is a common name, huh? Is constantly thermal noise and resistors. The Boltzmann constant has dimension of energy divided by temperature. The ideal gas law states that the fuck is an ideal gas law, also called a general gas equation, is the equation of a state of an hypothetical ideal gas. It is a good approximation of a behavior of many gases and the condition, although it has several limitations. It was first stated by the fuck Paul. Hypothetical ideal gas. So ideal gas is like a typical. It's literally ideal gas. Theoretical gas composed of many random moving point particles that are not subjected to interparticle interactions. The ideal gas concept is useful because it obeys the ideal gas law. It's simplified equations of the state and amenable, uh, amenable, the fuck is that word, to analysis under the statistical mechanics. So what is an ideal gas? An ideal gas is a theoretical gas composed of many randomly moving point particles. So what is a point particle? The point particle, ideal particle, or point like particle is an idealization of particles heavily used in physics. It defines features that its defining feature is that it lacks spatial extension, being dimensionless. It does not take up space. A point particle is an approximate representation of any object, whatever its size. So it does not take up space. Let's go back to constant states for an ideal gas. The product pressure P, the product of pressure P and volume is proportional to the product of amount of substance and absolute temperature. So product of pressure and volume is equal to the amount of substance and the absolute temperature. So what the fuck is an absolute? I mean, I have obviously learned about this in my school days, but I just forgot. Thermodynamic temperature is a physical quantity that measures temperature starting from absolute zero. Oh, at which point thermal motion. Rolls of isn't this constant said to be like a certain number? So where R is molar gas constant, which is a set more constant. Molar denoted by is a molar equivalent to Boltzmann constant expressed in the units of temperature. Reducing volts constant as the gas constant per module. Ideal alternative. N is the number of molecules of gas. So product of pressure and the volume is equal to number of molecules into temperature into constant. Why is it K? Isn't it supposed to be? Oh, K is equal to molar gas constant divided by Avogadro constant. Avogadro constant denoted by is a conversion constant or ratio between the amount of substance and the number of particles that contains. The particle in questions are design. Oh my god, science is doing science shit. Gay. Why does gay exist? It's a word that I thought I would never say, but I have said it. Gay Luzak. Okay, so Boltzmann constant. Why? Why do they use Boltzmann constant? Ludwig Boltzmann. He looks like a. He does not looks like a. Okay, I'm not gonna say what. It felt bad. I was going to say he does not look like a scientist, but then I realized, okay, that's too much. That might be too much. It's- What the fuck am I even? Was I was meant to search about Boltzmann brain. A Boltzmann brain is an hypothetical, spontaneous, fluctuating conscious brain that briefly forms out of random quantum fluctuation in the universe as a thermal equilibrium, complete with false memories of a complex life, and is considered more probable than our entire ordered universe. Uh, Evolving from Big Bang in a cosmological models, this thought experiment serves as the reduction or add absurd to challenge scientists. Validity of completing cosmology theories. In a vast eternal universe in thermoequilibrium, maximum entropy, random quantum moments can momentarily create this ordered structures like a brain from chaos. So a chaos can just randomly create a brain. That is a great one shot, one plot point for a science fictional novel. That is a oh my god, that is a wonderful plot point for a science fiction novel. Just random brain that is born from chaos. That is weirdly, how do you even comprehend that story? How do you even comprehend that storyline? That a brain has its own. Imagine a person learning that he is not real and he has always just been a random brain in the universe. Does the brain even has a body? Or is that body the god? Imagine a brain being born from chaos. That's just so complex, huh? Boltzmann paradox. Boltz Boltzmann brain paradox, huh? Our universe began in very low entropy state, the Big Bang, and evolved into its current complex form, a high improbable even compared to a brain popping into existence. So the chances of us being us is because of the high entropy we have, which is said to be a chaos. What if our entropies are low? Would we still staying in the Big Bang state, or like would have life form formed in a lower entropy state? If a theory predicts Boltzmann brains are vastly more common than normal observers, then you should be highly confident you are a brain which paradoxically undermines the evidence that led you to believe the theory in the first place, making the theory cognitively unstable. As weird as it sounds, it feels like it makes sense. What if I am the Boltzmann brain? I mean, if shit is stupid, I can't say stupid, huh? Like stuff like when stuff like this exists, I feel like my black hole paradox can also exist. The chances of if I fall into a black hole, then I will just be stuck in a loop of entering a black hole again and again and again. Because time ceased to exist. And the last message that my brain received was me falling into a black hole. And if you want to like involve a multiverse, what's the word? Multiverse, then you get ejected out of a black hole and you get ejected out of a black hole through or by white hole, then you again get sucked into a black hole because or some of your information gets sucked into your white hole, I mean black hole. That's just weird, huh? Let's just say that what let's just say that multiverse doesn't exist for this theory because the proof of multiverse is a hindrance to my paradox. It's not a paradox. I feel like it's just a theory. The test cosmological models, it provides a benchmark for theories like eternal inflation. If a model produces too many Boltzmann brains, like it's likely flawed. Oh, it forces scientists to confront the reliability of our observations. And okay, doesn't this like Boltzmann brain also works with like NPC's theory, right? Like matrix. I don't know if matrix it's a paradox, but like the chances of another person being a non-playable character or like just an algorithm, it's like it's weird. What if let's just imagine that I am the brain, right? I am the Boltzmann brain. And what if the person that I'm speaking to, or let's just make it dark. What if the person that I fall in love with is a nobody? It's like they don't exist. It's just an hallucination. It's just an imagination that I made up. Or why is he? Okay, it is 2026. She, okay, I just made it weird. I just made it weird. I have to ruin it. I have to ruin it. He or she, let's just keep it like that. I need to sleep, man. I need to sleep. She, what if she is an NPC? Like, she's not a. That's so dark. That's just so dark. What if she is like a non playable character, just an algorithm? Or What if what if she's an imagination or an hallucination that my brain created? Isn't that what being schizo means, right? Isn't that what uh I just paused for a second and thought about it, and I felt like, what are the chances of we seeing the things that we see are real? That's so dark. Boltzmann brain is a dark paradox. Imagine just I am just the only brain that formed out of randomness. Obviously, this is a paradox. This is like a theory. But just imagine when I say I want you to imagine, okay? Imagine you are just a paradox brain, and then everything is just an hallucination. That's so weird. Free will just cease to exist at that point. You can solve world problems and world hunger within your brain. But didn't I just, if a brains like that exists, then wouldn't multiverse exist? Because in this universe it doesn't exist. So in order for it to exist, then it has to exist in another universe or like another dimension. How does that brain exist? If that or like just the very own existence of that brain itself is like the very own existence of that brain is itself is like a doom for other persons. Because what do you mean that, okay, let's just take me from this scenario. What if my best friend is that brain and I am not a real guy? What happens then? So what is the point of that brain at that point? Am I a different brain and is my best friend a different brain? I'm oh, so this is what the Boltzmann brain is, huh? I don't think it's a paradox. I mean, obviously, I don't know the meaning for a paradox, but it is just a dark concept where you are constantly questioning everything that is happening in your own life. If it's just an imagination created by a brain, a complex life that is created by a brain, then why does it have to be so dark? Dark in the sense like why do I have to suffer? It can be complex. Why does it have to be complex? Is the question. It can just be like, I mean, you struggled for 5 years, but then you became a billionaire. It can be as simple as that. So, so does this brain paradox still exist, or does it just ends there? This is a good paradox. It literally made me think about it, but I feel like this paradox has a lot in common with the matrix paradox as well, suggesting that maybe you are a player character, but the other guys around you might not be a real characters. They are just NPCs or like algorithm that are created by the uh, sentient AI or whatever you guys want to call it. Hmm. Boltzmann brain, huh? What if Boltzmann brain is the god that we pray to? That's why we are all are part of the God. Isn't that what God's? It's like I feel like if we all are connected through our soul, and if we all are connected through I don't know whatever it means we are connected through, then the hive mind or like Boltzmann brain is like supposed to be the God, right? Is that what? I don't want to say any names. Then it becomes like a religional thing, and science is lost at that point. I want to keep it scientific. I wish I could say names, but some people can't comprehend it, or some people can't like take it according to science. Oh my god. Okay, what if it's a certain god that we all worship? It can be whatever god you worship. Uh, just assume the Boltzmann brain is your god, your own god, and we are just part of its imagination. That's why we pray to God. Is that a weird theory that I'm suggesting? I think I clearly butchered what I meant to say because of the language barrier. But what I meant to say is that God might have been a theoretical God, might have been the what? What's his name? Boltzmann. And his brain is the complex life that we live in. So we all are just part of God's imagination. Maybe God is just there. I don't know. Boltzmann brain paradox. It's a good paradox. It's a very well, I can't say written, but it's like, I wonder how it started or how it originated. It's such a good paradox.